May 20th, Tuesday. Well, this is weird. I never thought I'd be writing this dumb journal, but here we are. Greg's gone, and Mom thinks he'll help me process my feelings if I write stuff down like he did. Whatever. Now, to be honest, I don't really know what to say. It's not like Greg and I ever really got along or anything. I mean, most of the time, he was just this annoying little brother who got in the way of everything. But now that he's not here, the house just feels so different. It's just so empty. I can't really explain it. Mom's a wreck, obviously. She's been crying all the time, and Dad's been trying to keep it together for her. Manny doesn't really get it. He's just been asking where Greg is, like he's on some kind of vacation, and to be honest, it kind of hurts seeing him not understand. I guess I should say something nice about Greg. He was a pretty funny kid, always getting into some kind of trouble, and as much as I hated it, those stupid comics he drew were actually kind of good. He was always better at that stuff than me. And I don't know. Maybe this whole journal thing isn't such a bad idea. Maybe I'll keep writing it. Not like I've got much else to do. That the band's on hiatus and school's out for summer. So I guess we'll see how it goes. Wednesday. Okay, so I'm back now. Mom was all over about writing again, so here I am. Honestly, it's not like I have anything better to do. Little Diver's practice got cancelled again because Bill broke his arm doing some stupid stunt. Typical. I found one of Greg's old journals today. It was just lying on his bed, and I figured it wouldn't really hurt to take a look. See what kind of stuff he was writing in that book. Yeah, it turns out it was all the same Greg drama. Whining about school, trying to be popular, and dealing with Frugley. Some things never change, I guess. Now, reading through it though, I realized how much I missed out on. I mean, Greg had all these little things going on that I never really paid attention to. I mean, I knew he had his issues, but I didn't know he was dealing with so much. Maybe it was just too hard on him sometimes, or a lot of times. Who knows? Dad's been working on a car a lot. I think it's his way of dealing with things. I mean, he's always been the fix-it guy, but this time, it's like he's trying to fix something that can't be fixed. I tried talking to him, but he just gave me a wrench and told me to help. Classic Dad. Manny's been asking me more questions. He wanted to know if Greg went to live on a farm like Grandma's dog did. I didn't know what to say, so I just told him that Greg's in a better place now and it seemed to make him happy. At least for a little while. Alright, that's enough for today. I think I've done my part. Maybe I'll find something else to write about. Or maybe not. Guess we'll see. Thursday. So I'm still doing this. Mom's been on my case even more about writing, and I get it. She needs to see that we're all dealing with this, but it's starting to get old. I went to Greg's room again today, and it's weird how much stuff he had. I mean, he was always collecting things, action figures, video games, and those cheesy horror movies he thought were so cool. And I found his stash of Twisted Wizard games and couldn't help but just laugh. He was always so obsessed with being that stupid game. School's starting to send emails about next year, and they're talking about online classes again, but who knows what's gonna happen? Not like it matters to me, anyways. I'm already behind on everything, and now I have to deal with this whole situation. Maybe I'll maybe I'll just drop out and focus on the band. I mean, not like anyone cares about my grades anyways. Speaking of the band, I tried getting the guys together today. Figured we could all use distraction. But Bill stalled out with his broken arm, so we just messed around for a bit. It felt good to play, even if it was just me and Ward. It's like music's the only thing that just makes sense right now. Also, Mom cooked Greg's favorite dinner tonight, mac and cheese with hot dogs, and it just felt so wrong eating it without him. But we all try to act normal. I mean, even Manny managed to sit still for once. I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling right now. Everyone says it'll get easier, but when? It's like there's this huge hole in our family and nothing's ever gonna fill it. Anyway, I'm done for today. Maybe tomorrow will be better, or maybe it'll just be another day. We'll see. Friday. So I'm back at it. Wrote a song today. Well, at least tried to. It's hard to focus with, everything that's going on, but I figure it might help. Music's always been my thing, and maybe it'll help me sort through this whole mess. The song's pretty rough, but it's a start at least. I went for a drive with Dad. He didn't say much, just kind of stared ahead and drove. It was nice though. Sometimes it's better not to talk. We ended up at this old diner we used to go when we were kids. It brought back a lot of memories. Mostly good ones. Man, Greg used to love their milkshakes there. Now, back at home, Mom's been trying to keep busy. She started about 5 new projects around the house, and today she was cleaning out the attic and found some old photos. There was one of Greg and me from Halloween a few years back. He was dressed as a pirate and I went as a zombie. We both looked ridiculous, but hey, it made me smile seeing him again. I guess I never realized how much I'd miss having him around to annoy me. It's like this constant background noise that I didn't notice until it was gone. Now, the house is just too quiet, and it's driving me crazy. Also, Manny's been sticking to me like glue. He follows me around everywhere and keeps asking me to play with him. I'm trying to be patient, but it's hard. I'm not Greg. I don't know how to keep entertained like Greg did. Mom said we should think about doing some kind of memorial for Greg. Maybe plant a tree or something. I'm not sure how I should feel about that. Part of me thinks it's a good idea, but another part just wants to move on. It's like, how do you remember something without getting stuck in the past? Alright, that's enough for today. I'm gonna see if I can finish that song. Maybe it'll turn out okay, or maybe it won't. guess we'll see. Saturday. Still writing. Still trying to make sense of everything. It's weird how things keep moving, even when it feels like they should just stop. Mom started going through Greg's stuff. She asked if I wanted to keep anything, but I just I just couldn't bring myself to take anything. Well, at least right now. Maybe later. I spent most of the day in the garage with Dad. He's been working on the old van, trying to get it running again. I think it's his way of dealing with things. He showed me how to change the oil and fix a few other things, and it felt good, to do something with my hands. Something that didn't involve thinking too much. Also, Mom had Greg's best friend Rowley over today, and he was a total mess, crying and all. I've never seen him like that before. Greg used to talk about him a lot, always had some crazy story about the stuff they did together. I guess I never realized how close they were. Rowley brought over a photo album they made together, and it was full of pictures of them being their usual goofy selves, and to be honest, it made me laugh, even though it hurt a bit too. Manny's being quieter than usual. I think he's starting to understand a little more, or he's just picking up on everyone else's moods. He asked me to read one of Craig's favorite bedtime stories. It was this silly book about a talking dog, but Manny loved it. I try to read the way Greg used to, with all the funny voices and everything. I didn't quite nail it, but Manny seemed happy enough. Mom still talked about the memorial. She mentioned about having a small service with just close friends and family. I guess it's a good idea. Craig deserves something nice. Something that shows how much he meant to everyone. I'm still working on that song, by the way. It's coming along slowly but surely. And maybe I'll play it at the memorial. Or maybe I'll just keep it to myself. Not sure yet. Well, that's it for now. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Sunday. Alright, here we go again. Mom's on a roll with this whole processing feelings thing. She's got us doing family activities every day now, and today it was looking through old photo albums. I didn't think I'd care, but seeing all those old pictures brought back a lot of memories. Some good and some not so good. But mostly, it was nice. I found this one picture of Greg and me when we were little. We were at the beach, building this massive sandcastle. Greg's face was all scrunched up in concentration, and I was just laughing because the tide was coming in and he was freaking out. Oh, typical Greg. Always worried about the small stuff. Dad's still working on the van, though I think it's almost done. He asked if I wanted to take a road trip once it's running. Just the two of us. I said maybe. I mean, it could be good to, get out of here for a while. Clear our heads. Mom invited Raleigh over again, and he and I talked a bit more this time. He showed me some of the comics he and Greg made together, and to be honest, They were pretty hilarious. Actually, I never knew Greg was that creative. Riley said Greg always wanted to publish them someday, so maybe I'll help him with that. I mean, it feels like something Greg would have wanted. Also, Manny's still glued to me, and today he asked we could play Twisted Wizard together. Now, I haven't touched that game in years, but I agreed, and it was a lot harder than I remembered, but Manny seemed to have fun, and I think it helped him feel closer to Greg. Mom's planned memorial for next weekend. She asked if I wanted to say something. I'm not sure I can. I've been writing this journal, but saying stuff out loud is different. Maybe I'll play a song I've been working on instead. I mean, it is almost finished, and it does feel like the right thing to do. Anyway, that's it for now. Gonna try to finish the song tonight, but we'll see how it goes. Monday. Another day, another page. Today was rough. I thought I was starting to get used to things, but something came up, and it all came crashing back. Like today, I found one of Greg's old video games lying around. You know, one of those games he always begged me to play with him, and it hit me harder than I expected since I never made time to actually play with him. Mom's been going full steam ahead with the memorial plans. She's even got Dad on board, and he's been genuinely helpful. It's it's just so strange seeing them work together on this. I guess it's good for them, though. You know, gives them something to focus on. I went for a drive in the van with Dad. He's finally got running, and we took it for a spin around the neighborhood. We didn't talk much, but it was just nice, just being out of a house. It felt good. He asked again about the road trip, and I'm still not sure, but I'm thinking about it. I mean, maybe it's what we need, a change of scenery. Riley came over again. He brought some more of those comics he and Greg made, and we spent a few hours going through them. You know, laughing at the jokes and the ridiculous stories they came up with. And I told Riley about Greg wanting to publish them someday, and we talked about maybe putting them together into a book. I mean, it could be a good way to remember him. Manny's been seen close, as usual, and he asked if I could read him another story tonight, and so I found one of Greg's old favorites, Good Night, SpongeBob. I tried to read the way Greg did, with all the funny voices and everything, and Manny seemed to like it. It also made me feel a bit closer to Greg too. Also, if you're wondering, I finished the song today. It's not perfect, but it's from the heart, and I think I'm gonna play it at the memorial. It just feels like the right thing to do, and way to say goodbye. But, well, that's it for today. Tomorrow's another day, but we'll see how it goes. Tuesday. Well, I'm back again. Mom's been super intense about the memorial. She's got a list a mile long of things that need to be done. Flowers, programs, a slideshow of pictures. I mean, wow, she's really going all out. I mean, I guess it's her way of coping, but to be honest, it's starting to feel overwhelming. Dad's been at garage a lot, and when he's not working on a van, he's tinkering with other projects. I think he just needs to keep his hands busy. He asked me again about the road trip, and I'm actually leaning towards yes. I mean, it might be good for us. I spent some time with Riley today. He's been coming over a lot, and it's actually been nice. We talked more about putting together a book of Craig's comics, and Riley's really into the idea. And I mean, I think Craig would have liked it. So we started organizing them, picking out the best ones, and while it's gonna take a while, it just feels like the right thing to do. Also, Manny's being a lot quieter now. I think he's starting to understand what's going on, you know, in his own way. And he's been carrying around with Greg's old stuffed animals, a little dog with floppy ears. It was Greg's favorite when he was Manny's age, and Manny asked if he could keep it. And of course, we said yes, since it's a small thing, but it seems to comfort him. Also, I finally finished the details in the song, and I played for Mom, and after hearing it, she cried and said it was beautiful and that Greg would have loved it, and that made me feel good. Like maybe I'm doing something right, though I'm nervous about playing at the memorial. But despite that, I still think it's the right way to honor Greg. Mom also asked if I wanted to say a few words, and I've been thinking about it, and maybe I will. I've got a lot to say, and maybe it's time I actually say it out loud. Still not sure though, but we'll see. And that's it for today. Tomorrow's another day close to the memorial, and we'll see how it goes. Wednesday. Things are starting to come together for the memorial. Mom's been busy with final preparation, and Dad's been handling logistics, but it's almost here. The whole thing feels so surreal, like I'm stuck in some kind of weird dream. But sadly, this dream is reality. I spent the afternoon with Raleigh again, and we got the first draft of Craig's comic book put together, and to be honest, it's looking pretty good. Raleigh's been working on the layout and design, and I've been picking out the best stories and adding some notes about Greg. It's funny how something so simple can turn to something so important. Also, Manny's been clinging to that stuffed animal more than ever, and today he asked me to wear Greg's old baseball cap to the memorial. It's a little small for him, but to be honest, he looks kind of cute wearing it, and I think it'll make him feel connected to Greg, which is good. Also, Dad and I went to pick up flowers for the service, and we talked a bit more about the road trip, and I think we're both starting to look forward to it. However, I had a moment today where I almost lost it. You see, I was playing a song I made one last time, trying to get, just right, and it hit me how final everything feels. Playing it is like saying goodbye all over again, and I think it's going to be really emotional, but I'm ready. I want to make sure Greg's memory is honored in the best way possible. Mom's been a bit on edge with all the details. She asked if I wanted to help set up the slideshow pictures for service, and I agreed, even though I wasn't sure if I could handle looking at them. Though surprisingly, it was okay. Seeing the photos brought back good memories, and it reminded me of how much Greg was loved. But that's all for today. The memorial is tomorrow, and I'm nervous, but also kind of relieved. It'll be good to finally get through it and start focusing on the next steps. Thursday. Today was the memorial. It was tough, but I think it went as well as it could. Mom was a whirlwind of activity this morning, making sure everything was perfect, and Dad helped set up the whole thing while I was in charge of a slideshow. It was hard going through all the photos, but it was also comforting to, see Greg's smiling face again. The service itself was emotional, to say the least. Friends and family shared their stories about Greg. Raleigh gave a speech that made everyone laugh and cry. He talked about how Greg was always there to cheer him up and how much he meant to him. And it was clear how much Greg had touched people's lives. Now, when it was my turn to play a song, I was nervous, but I took a deep breath and started. It was a mix of sadness and pride playing it for everyone, and I could see Mom and Dad tearing up, but they also looked proud too. I also think Greg would have liked it. Oh, and Manny wore Greg's old baseball cap to service. He looked cute and he seemed to take comfort in having something of Greg's. Also, he played with some of the other kids afterward, which was good for him. After service, we had a small gathering around Greg's favorite snacks, and it was a chance for people to talk and share more stories about him. And it was nice to see everyone come together, laughing and reminiscing about Greg. It felt like a good way to celebrate his life. Though it's strange now that it's just over. And there's a mix of relief and sadness about this. Mom and Dad have been talking about the road trip again. We're thinking of leaving next week, and it might be good to get away and clear our heads. However, the house feels quieter now, but I guess that's how it's gonna be from now on. We'll just have to get used to it eventually, but for now, we're all just trying to find a new rhythm. But that's it for today. It's been a long day and I'm exhausted. So here's to hoping tomorrow brings a little peace. And that's Diary of a Kid, Dead Brother. Man, that story is so good. Thank you to the creator, Doawkdb fan 2, or should I say you / Diary of a Kid DB. You should subscribe and check that channel out. It's really good. Thank you for making this. I actually talked to them beforehand. They made the extra pages after talking to them. And man, this is really good. It's like Clive and Overflowing had a baby. That's how good it is. And thank you to the creator. They also subscribed to me, so you should subscribe to them. This was all fun to make, really, I'm honest. Anyway, next video is Diary of a Literature Club Member by Ashes. You would probably recognize this from Enigma. Yeah. But this time, it's going to be two big things about this video. One, this will be all pages at one, no parts. And two, it will be fully voiced by multiple people instead of just me making voices or me and May. Example is one of the characters will be played by the creator herself, and another will be played by a fellow LLB tuber, hopefully. You'll probably recognize his voice when you watch the video. His name starts with real, but it might or might not happen, but hopefully it does. You'll know who he is. He'll be playing a character, like a cameo. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy... Sorry. I hope you enjoy this reading, and I hope you enjoy this video. And I hope you have a good day. Bye!